By now you've had an opportunity to meet with your school band director about starting a brand new adventure, and that's how to play the saxophone. The purpose of this CD is to give you some helpful hints that are going to make that first few weeks of playing a little bit more successful to you. Might be something that you might want your parents to view along with you as well, because they can be a good guide as far as watching you when you're trying to do different things in the beginning, especially things like shaping the muscles that we use when we play. But the first thing we have to do is we have to make sure that we sit with good posture. And in order to do that, we need to have something that holds our book properly, and that's our folding music stand. Our folding music stand that most of us probably have looks like this. It's a wire stand, and the legs open from the top there and down, and then it sits here, and then we open up the top section, and that fits right here in the top. It's very important that you purchase one of these. It's something that we use at school for our full band practices. You don't have to bring it every week for your lessons because the school does have some there for our lesson groups. But we don't have enough for each person to use that. You'll use it for our full band practices at the school as well as the all-district band as well. Also, we need to have our book, and if you'll open up your book now, please, to page number 6. Notice that I have my neck strap on already. That's a very important part of playing. We'll hook the neck strap on. And we talked a little bit before, and your teacher has also, about the reed, how important your reed is. Make sure that parents, you buy reeds, probably by the box would be the best thing, 10 at a time. They usually run between $1.75 and $2 for a reed. When you set the reed on the mouthpiece, just like your teachers told you, make sure that it's flat on the mouthpiece, and then just a little bit of reed is showing right at the tip. We want to moisten the reed first in order to make our sound. And now let's take a look at our first note that we're going to play. Our thumb of our left hand fits on the back. There's usually a round key or pearl. That's where our thumb would fit. And then we would put our first finger here, second finger here, third finger here. Our thumb, there's a little hook here that we put our thumb underneath, and then it's 1, 2, and 3. So that's the way that we actually would be holding the instrument, pressing down the different keys. In the very beginning, we're just going to use a few of those keys, but our thumb is still going to be underneath, and our thumb on the back right by that pearl. The first note that we have is a B. It's on the middle line. It's a whole note, or 4 beats, and the way we keep track of the beat as a musician is we tap our foot. So get used to tapping your foot. As a saxophone player, the best foot to tap is our left foot. And the reason we want to do that is our saxophone, as you can see, is resting on my right leg. And so we don't want to move that leg up and down with our tapping because that's going to move our instrument. So use your left foot when you're tapping. The first note is a B. It's our first finger. And you'll notice there are 2 keys here. We want to go to the second one down. Press that down, and let's start with time for band. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Now maybe as you were trying to play along with time for band, you got a different sound out of your instrument. And that probably is a squeak. And in the beginning when we start to play, many times what we do is we try to put too much air into the mouthpiece, and our poor reed here doesn't know what to do. And so it sends us a signal, and that's the squeak. And so a squeak, many times, sounds like this. So a lot of different sounds there, just sending us a signal that things aren't right. So many times it's because we're trying to play with too much air, or we have too much mouthpiece in our mouth. So experiment with that. We always want to keep our top teeth on the mouthpiece and keep your corners in, and like you're saying the word ya, ya. Our jaw is flat, and try not to puff your cheeks, Corners in, top teeth on the mouthpiece, jaw nice and flat. Let's go now to number 2. The fun continues. We're going to add one more finger, first finger and second finger, and this is our A. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A whole lot of counting. Number 3 uses both of our new notes that we've learned so far. Remember B, just our first finger, and A, our first and second finger. Here's number 3, a whole lot of counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tap your foot, 2, 3, 4. Tap, 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 tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next note we have on page 6, number 4, is called 4-score, and that note is a G. So we're continuing working with our left hand, adding the first finger, second finger, and now the third finger. Our thumb again is on the pearl. Our right hand is just holding up the instrument there. Here's number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue working on this page, page 6, through Mix 'em Up, number 5, and also Melting Pot. I'm going to play now Band on Parade, number 7. We're using all 3 of our notes. We begin number 7 with our G. Our second note that we have in that song is our A, and our third note that we play is our B natural. Here's number 7, Band on Parade. Tapping our foot, sitting tall, keeping our left arm off of our leg. We never want to put our arm on our leg there because that crunches our lungs together and we can't breathe properly. So always sit tall. Number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, change notes. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's look on now to page number 7, A Breath of Fresh Air. You'll notice now we don't have the whole note rest in between the notes like we had on all of the notes on page 6. So when you see a comma, just take a nice quick breath and then get right back into our playing. Here's number 8, Breath of Fresh Air. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now as we continue down the page side by side, does the same type of thing, only now we're using both of our notes. 2 by 2 does the same thing, only a little different pattern. I'm going to move now down to half the price, where we use our half notes. Those notes now look just like a whole note, only they have one beam on them, and they get 2 beats apiece. Here's number 11, half the price. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cardiff by the Sea, number 12. We're combining now whole notes and half notes, whole rests and half rests, and now we're working also on our 3 main notes. Remember our G, our A, and our B. Here's Cardiff by the Sea. 1, 2, 3, 4. Moving down to the bottom exercise on the page, Go for Excellence. And again, an opportunity to use our different notes, skipping around a little bit, starting on our first note, our G, and then lifting up both fingers at a time to go up to the B and then down to the A. So we need to start working our fingers independently, not just one finger at a time, lifting things together. Here's 14. Remember, are you sitting tall, making sure your top teeth are on the mouthpiece? Take a big, deep breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn our page now to page number 8. What you'll see at the top of the page is a new type of rhythmic note. We've had whole notes and half notes so far, and now we have quarter notes. Quarter notes, we know, get one beat apiece. And we could, if we wanted to, breathe after every note. But that would become very difficult for us, and it would tire us out very quickly. And so what we do when we're playing an instrument like this that uses a reed, we actually keep the air moving, and we take our tongue and we touch the reed and then move the tongue back. And so what that does is, just for an instant, that stops the reed from vibrating. And when the reed stops vibrating, then the sound stops. And so the idea of our corners in, one stream of air. And so you may have to work at this a little bit. Kind of a different concept for you, but if you keep practicing, working on touching that tongue to the reed, back and forth a little bit, I think you'll understand the idea of articulation, and it'll really help as you start mastering quarter notes. Here's number 15. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 16, hot cross buns. Using, again, all of the different note values that we've learned so far. Whole note for 4 taps of our foot, half note 2 taps, and quarter note 1 tap. Here's number 16. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 17, Au Clair de la Lune. Again, we have some more opportunities now to play quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes. The main thing that's missing in this one is this one doesn't have any rests. And so now the idea of taking a big, big, deep breath and working on strengthening those muscles that we use when we play. Here's number 17. 1, 2, 3, 4. As the page continues, we find the introduction of 2 new notes. The 4th note, so far we know B and A and G. The 4th note is not using our right hand, but staying with our left hand, it's just our second right here, covering the second hole, and that's C. It sounds like this. So B is our first finger, and C on the second key. So that's C. And the other one, in number 21, we get an opportunity now to use the right hand. And this becomes very important for saxophone, because when we add the right hand, we have to make sure that our fingers don't hit any of these keys here. We have to reach around and touch first finger, second finger, and third finger. So again, we don't want to bump any of these keys here. If we do, we're going to get a squeaking sound, and it's not because we're taking too much reed or using too much air. It's because we're bumping one of these keys. So use good care when you're trying to play a D. A D is played with first finger, second finger, third finger of our right hand, and first finger, second finger, and third finger of our left hand. On the back of the saxophone now, we're going to move our thumb up just slightly, and you'll see what we call a register key right here. And we'll be pressing that down as well. So it's the register key in the back, first, second, third, and then 1, 2, 3 with our right hand. The D sounds like this. This is the highest note so far that we've learned. The D once again. We'll try number 21 right now, getting it together, using that new note. And the reason I'm doing that is just checking your hand posture, making sure that you can play that D. It begins with the D. Here's 21. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've had an opportunity now to work through the first 5 notes of our book, pages 6, 7, and 8. Hopefully I've given you some helpful hints that are going to help make you a better saxophone player. Thanks for listening. Try to practice at least 10 minutes twice a day to get those muscles nice and strong. Listen to your teacher, and good luck. Thank you.